in Agba. It just pretty much means that someone makes a Nigerian delicacy at home, and because the community understands that you've probably not eaten this in a long while, or you probably need a taste of it, because it just feels like everyone is connected, and you feel like someone is missing out on something, and you just invite your friends that are part of the Nigerian community and just say, you know what, I made moi, I made jollof rice, come, let's grab some, let's just eat together. And it pretty much builds community, if you ask me, and brings us together and reminds us of our roots. Yeah, recently I've been interacting with a lot of food bloggers, that are deeply rooted in our cultural identity as Nigerians. I'll be mentioning the likes of Diary of a Naija Kitchen Lover. We'll talk about Heal the Basi. So you would see that these influencers and bloggers, try to have a feel or a touch of the Nigerian cultural identity in their content, in their blogging. You would see a food blogger fully dressed in Nigerian cultural attire, making these meals, and sometimes even expressing themselves in this language. I think it's really beautiful. It has a very nice context to the whole idea. That's an interesting one. The reality is there are so many things that I do not know, because maybe my parents did not pass down to me traditionally, and maybe their parents as well did not pass down to them. And I feel like some of this knowledge, if we put it together and try to put a bit of fun into it, maybe while you're cooking your traditional dish, especially in diaspora like this, you talk to your kids, you talk to your children, and then share these cultural stories with them. I feel it's a really nice one. It's really interesting. Thank you for that question. Recently, on the 25th of October, there was an event hosted at the Middlesbrough Council Hall. It's called Taste of Africa. And I would say that everyone that came together that day somehow had a taste of jollof rice. It was there at the stand, and I could see diverse culture. I could see different ethnic groups coming together to have a taste. And one interesting thing, I saw a colleague of mine that is British, and she tried it and she said it was amazing. So you can imagine if a kind of food that brings us together as a people, bring everyone together, regardless of the race, regardless of your ethnic group, come together. I think that's a really, really strong aspect or element of culture, if you ask me. So yes, it does bring community together. I believe that if you want to do something, you want to achieve something, go big. I feel the conventional way of doing things is kind of boring, and it's very interesting if you can add elements, or bloggers can add elements of storytelling when they're making their meals. So for instance, instead of just saying you add pepper, you add salt, you add seasoning, you add this, you just use strategic storytelling to express yourself while cooking and share important and valuable information as well. So I feel like it's going to be a very interesting situation where someone is cooking a traditional meal and telling me a very unique story that I've never heard, or it's really interesting. I'll be glued. I think it will make me interested in what they're doing. And believe me, I'm going to come back to that blog to watch more videos. To be honest, I try as much as possible to stay connected, but the obvious is that there is a barrier in distance, which makes me feel a bit disconnected. But interestingly, food is one thing that has really, made me stay glued to my culture. I try as much as possible to make Nigerian meals as often. I also try as much as possible to buy and then import these meals and these ingredients to my home. And yes, it's something that is on a constant. I always make these meals at home just so I, feel connected to my culture. Taking my mind back to that event, it felt really good. It felt really inclusive to be able to express myself without fear and feel welcomed at Teesside University, where I wore my cultural attire. I mean, I slept well that day, trust me. So yes, it was really fun. I danced the epic dance called a kombi. It's my cultural dance, and yeah, it was beautiful. A lot of people took pictures with me. They were so interested in the culture. They wanted to know more about it. So I mean, that feels great. I think I would say it's afang soup. I love afang soup so much. And the interesting thing or the unique thing about afang soup is the fact that when the vegetables are fresh, you would enjoy it, absolutely. But that's one thing that I've found really difficult here. Most people say they are dry leaves, but I haven't seen it. So yeah, that's something I think I've missed, and I really, really want to have a feel of it. The fresh vegetable, afang vegetable, I've not seen it in England. If you see it, just let me know. So yes, at Teesside University, I've found some interesting events. We have the Nigerian Society. We have other events that come up once in a while. And I think one beautiful one I've just discovered is the canteen in the library at Teesside University. I think it has a fusion of jollof rice, and I think that pretty much has a touch of Nigerianness there. And yeah, I think anytime I go to the library, even though I'm reading, I still put my nose down because I want to perceive the aroma of the jollof rice prepared there. Yeah, so Teesside is trying. I think that strategy is really good because it really helps, me feel connected to my roots whilst at school. I've been trying to have a feel and taste of diverse cultural meals, intercontinental meals. Yeah, so I've recently tried Ethiopian meal. I've recently tried Ghanaian food as well. Interestingly, I asked a classmate of mine to bring a Ghanaian meal to school for me to have a taste, and she did. Thank you so much for doing that if you're watching this. So yeah, I've tried my best, but I'm still willing to explore. I'm hoping to, have a taste of more. Thank you for your time. Thank you for having me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, you go edit that. I just take back down.